Joining us now is Andrew Weissmann, former FBI general counsel and New York University law professor. Andrew, just what are your thoughts?
Sure. So it's important to focus on exactly what Judge Cannon did here. The judge said that the appointment of a special counsel under the appointment clause of the Constitution, as well as the appropriations clause, which is funding, so both the appointment clause appointing him and the appropriation clause of the Constitution funding him, under both of those constitutional provisions, she said that the executive branch does not have that power. So she's restricting the power of the executive branch of government, that is the president, the attorney general, from appointing a special counsel, saying that that's something that would have to be done by congressional statute, or the president himself would have had to have appointed this person, not Merrick Garland. That's her ruling here. It is in distinct contrast to all of the other cases that have dealt with this, because I'm sure a lot of viewers are going, but what are you talking about? Special counsel Mueller was a special counsel, and that was upheld. Special counsel Rob Hur, who investigated the current sitting president, Joe Biden, he was able to do that. There is a current special counsel who has prosecuted Hunter Biden and is still prosecuting Hunter Biden. So there was a recently concluded gun case brought by a special counsel appointed in the same way that Judge Cannon has just found is unconstitutional. So all of those other judges where there has been this challenge have rejected the view of Judge Cannon. She stands alone. What she is doing in many ways is putting in writing what she has done de facto in this case. She has delayed this case at every step. The one difference now is that by making this ruling in writing, not just sort of slowing the case to a complete standstill, which has been her want, this will go to the 11th Circuit. The government can appeal this because every other case they have won. I actually litigated this issue when I was part of Special Counsel Mueller's investigation. And the courts, I think quite correctly, rejected what Judge Cannon did and said that the Attorney General has ample authority to appoint a special counsel as an inferior officer. This, though, is the kind of issue that I think will go to the 11th Circuit, and I think it may go to the Supreme Court. Final point is that I think that for cynical viewers, they can put this decision by Judge Cannon alongside the Supreme Court's immunity decision from 2 weeks ago to really think about the problem with the rule of law in this country.
All right, so Andrew, let me ask you, and I'm so grateful that you're able to explain it so that all of us can understand. So the judge has a problem with both the appointment and the funding of special counsels in general. And then even though she says, but this is not inconsistent with historical practice, she says that. And so, and then you talk about those other special counsels, Hur and Mueller and the one in Hunter Biden's case. Are the mechanics of the appointment and the funding of those special counsels any different than the mechanics and the appointment of this special counsel?
Not in any material way. If the special counsel here is unconstitutional, then that should apply as well to David Weiss, the special counsel in the Hunter Biden case. And to be clear, that case is ongoing. The gun case where the trial phase was concluded, that is still going on because there has not been a sentencing. And there is an upcoming tax case in California. So that issue of whether the special counsel can be appointed is a live one, not just here in the Jack Smith Florida case, but also in the Hunter Biden case. It is virtually identical. And so when Judge Cannon says, I'm not doing this to apply to any other case, of course she's right. She doesn't have authority to rule in any other case. But her reasoning, if adopted by the Supreme Court, would undermine all special counsels, and that includes David Weiss.
And so, Andrew, waiting and we wait for the probable appeal, right? What repercussions, or could there be any repercussions from Cannon's case decision in any other cases that we're following?
Well, it would only be in connection with cases where there is a special counsel that's been appointed. So it doesn't have any effect, for instance, in the New York case. That is a state case. There's no special counsel there. The Georgia case against Donald Trump, that's not a special counsel case. But this is the kind of decision that would affect the D.C. case. And remember, D.C. is where the Jack Smith has his the so-called January 6th insurrection case. The D.C. courts, including the Court of Appeals, has rejected Judge Cannon's decision. They do not agree that there's a problem with the way in which the special counsel was appointed. That's what they held in the Mueller investigation. They said there was ample authority. And just to give you a quick sense of the reasoning, because I think it's one where you don't really need to be a lawyer to understand the reasoning. And I can give you the reasoning of Dabney Friedrich. She is a district judge who ruled on this in D.C. She was appointed, notably, by Donald Trump. So she is a Trump appointee, and she held that there was no problem at all with the Attorney General appointing a special counsel, in that case, Special Counsel Mueller. And her reasoning was that the Attorney General can follow any sort of internal guidance he wants in running the Department of Justice. He can appoint all sorts of people to help him. He can hire people. He has all sorts of underlings that are at his beck and call, and he can follow the special counsel rules. He can decide to get rid of the special counsel rules. These are all people who report to him, and there's no problem in the Attorney General hiring all sorts of people beneath him to carry out the work of the Department of Justice. And she said that's true of the special counsel Mueller. It would be true of special counsel Jack Smith. So that's the reasoning in D.C. It is rejected by Judge Cannon. So there is now a conflict between the D.C. cases and Judge Cannon. And I think this is going to be one where it's to be continued. In terms of the big picture, is the Florida case, which was on hold de facto, is now on hold in writing.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.